In today's video, we'll be testing the video editing and rendering capabilities of the new M1 MacBook Air from Apple against a mid-range Windows 10 desktop PC to see which comes out on top. If you've been following the recent release of the new range of MacBooks, you'll know just how much they are surprising people with the amount of processing power and overall performance. All the details and exact specifications of both machines will be coming up a bit later. Remember to leave a like and feel free to subscribe if you enjoy the video. Let's find out if the claims are true that the new MacBooks can really perform this well when it comes to editing and rendering. We'll be editing the exact same project in Davinci Resolve. A quick thing to point out before we go any further is the Mac version of Resolve will be running through Apple's Rosetta 2 emulation software, so it's likely that performance will actually exceed the results we get due to this. The project is just under 10 minutes and is a relatively simple mock-up of one of my videos. It's in 4K at 60 FPS and all the settings and content will be exactly the same on both the desktop PC and the MacBook. Before we go into the tests, let's take a look at the exact specifications of both devices. The processor on the MacBook is obviously Apple's first own Mac processor, the 8-core M1 chip. On the PC side, we're using the popular and mid-range AMD Ryzen 5 2600X. Graphics-wise, we're on the base MacBook Air, so this is the 7-core GPU, and we have the RTX 2060 on the PC. Both devices have SSDs. The MacBook has 8GB of RAM, and the PC doubles this with 16. Both of the devices come in at around $1,000, making this a fair competition based on price. The MacBook will be running on just the battery. Let me know in the comments your predictions for which you think will win and by how much. Within Resolve, I've left the timeline resolution at 4K to really test both of the devices to the limit. You can see a side-by-side view with the MacBook Air on the left and the PC on the right. There is quite a big difference in performance here, with the MacBook showing much smoother scrubbing, and you can see the delay on the PC when trying to play the content. It is clear that the PC is struggling a little with the 4K, but the MacBook has no problems at all. There's virtually no delay and I can click freely through the timeline, which makes editing quick and easy. With the PC struggling to play smooth and the delay when scrubbing, it makes it a challenge to edit efficiently without reducing the timeline playback quality. This is a surprise and a clear victory for the MacBook when it comes to editing and scrubbing. Quite a dramatic difference considering this is the base MacBook Air with the 7-core GPU and only 8GB of RAM. Let's get into the main test and see which can render the footage first. Once again to recap, it's 4K 60 FPS and it's the exact same project file with the same render output settings on both devices. It's rather simple 4K footage, but with 10 minutes of it to render, it should test whether or not the MacBook experiences any throttling without it having any active cooling. They both appear to be running at a similar speed, and for those of you wondering, the MacBook only got a little warm, certainly not hot despite the constant load on the CPU. Through my experience, both devices will allow you to continue work in the background, however everything is much smoother with the MacBook whilst rendering. I usually leave my PC with just Resolve open whilst rendering because using other programs doesn't help with the rendering times. After just over 11 minutes, the PC finishes. We only have to wait another minute and a half for the MacBook. The final times being 11:06 for the PC and 12:40 for the Mac. That's 14.1% longer on the MacBook, not a big difference, but this does mean it's a win for the PC, which with its superior graphics and cooling might not be too surprising. It is close though, and when you consider the vastly better performance when editing with the MacBook and improved ability to multitask, I'm confident that you could easily have made back the 1.5 minutes when editing. So in terms of efficiency and productivity, the MacBook is the quicker and better experience overall. And all of this whilst being on battery power only, no fan noise whatsoever, and being ultra portable. If you are thinking of getting the Air for video editing, it should definitely be capable of satisfying all of your basic needs. However, it might be worth upgrading to the 16GB of RAM variant, as this will mean less swap memory used, which should ensure your SSD stays quicker and more efficient for longer. I didn't experience any thermal throttling despite rendering for almost 13 minutes. The speed was constant throughout, which surprised me, especially when you compare it to the previous generation of MacBooks. It really shows just how impressive Apple's M1 chip really is. Let me know in the comments if you have any more comparison ideas with the MacBook and the PC. Perhaps it could be tested on some other software. And so that was a comparison of the rendering capabilities of the new M1 MacBook Air from Apple against a mid-range Windows 10 desktop PC. If you have any questions, then let me know in the comments below, and if you did enjoy today's video, remember to leave a like and feel free to subscribe for more tips in the future. Be sure to stick around to see some of my other videos that you might be interested in. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in another video.